The new Snow White live action is being completely destroyed by none other than Snow White herself. Rachel Zegler, an up-and-coming actress, has been chosen for the role of Snow White in the new adaptation. However, this may have been one of Disney's biggest blunders because it seems that Rachel may genuinely just fucking hate Snow White altogether.
I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious.
What's so upsetting about this, you may ask? Well, when it comes to adapting such a beloved work like Snow White, it's really important that everyone on the cast and crew alike all have the same amount of love for the original source material that a fan would, or at the very least that their love is above their greed. Some examples I like to think back to are the Harry Potter movies and the new live-action One Piece adaptation. It's very clear with both of these that everyone on the cast and crew alike just absolutely love the original source material, and they take very special measures to make sure that what they're making can be loved by both already established fans and new fans alike. And so you don't see Daniel Radcliffe or Iñaki Godoy going around just saying, oh yeah, the Harry Potter books, fucking dog shit. Oh yeah, One Piece, absolutely terrible. You don't see that. And why? Because it's clear that they actually love the original work. And of course that love is contagious and spreads over to the fans who get excited for anything new related. Which is why people are understandably upset. It seems that they casted someone who gives no shits about Snow White as opposed to casting someone that may actually have had so much love for the original work. What? Did they want to just say that they're being diverse by casting a Hispanic in this role? Well, guess what? I'm from Peru and I don't give a shit. Anyways, it doesn't end there. She's also just completely insufferable.
If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
She somehow managed to make the current actors and writers strike, you know, a strike about better treatment and fair pay, all about herself. It's actually pretty funny how the general message of what she's saying isn't so bad. Of course, the new Snow White is going to be making Disney a lot of money, so it's understandable that she should be getting paid well for that. But could she have at least worded it better or have said it in a tone that didn't sound so condescending or aggressive? It sounds more like she only cares if she gets paid as opposed to all the actors getting paid. And this is probably the worst part. She went on an interview to discuss the main premise of the new adaptation, which is no longer going to be an adaptation, it's now going to be a remake.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
She's
is
not going to be
yeah.
saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
And again, it's so funny how the message she's trying to get across actually does technically make sense. The movie's almost 90 years old. Of course, if they're gonna remake it or adapt it, they have to change some things around to make the story more modern. But now it's not even just the tone, it's the fact that the changes she's talking about completely rewrite the entire Snow White story altogether. For one, she mentions how the prince is no longer going to save Snow White and that technically his scenes can just be cut outright altogether.
Guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
And if that's the case, then how does Snow White wake the fuck up? Spoilers for about a 90-year-old movie right here. But in the original, Snow White ate a cursed apple that put her into a deep sleep that could only be woken up by true love's kiss, which came in the form of the prince. If there's gonna be no prince, or she's not gonna fall for the prince like she did in the animation, then how is she supposed to wake up? The only thing I can imagine is they're gonna change the entire curse of the apple. Instead of like putting her into a deep sleep, she's just more into like a little trance where she can wake up at any time or something. Or they're just gonna remove the apple altogether. And if they do that, is that really Snow White anymore? Is that really an adaptation? It sounds like the only thing keeping the movie named Snow White is the fact that the main character is called Snow White. Not really that it's based off the original animation or the original story or anything. She also goes on to mention how Snow White is going to be a leader. The leader she knows she can and wants to be. However, that's not really Snow White's character. I'm not saying women can't be leaders, obviously they can. But in the original, at least from what I remember, her character was just a lovable and beautiful princess that was dealt a bad hand in terms of her guardian, the person she kind of has to rely on, who ends up wanting to kill her. She didn't run away because she was a coward or anything, she ran away because she literally couldn't do anything. That motherfucker had literal magic powers. What did you want Snow White to do? Go to fucking Hogwarts? What? Either way, whether this movie ends up being good or bad does not matter, because in the end, this woman alone has sent this movie down a horrendous trajectory to the point where it almost seems like nobody wants to watch the movie. That's not even mentioning the other drama this movie is getting into. Long story short, they don't want to cast actual little people for the dwarfs. Instead, they would cast normal sized people, which is kind of fucked up considering that this was literally a job made for them. It sounds more discriminatory rather than, of course, just being inclusive, I guess. I'm not really sure how you can even defend that. If there's anything you should take away from this video, it's that if you ever want to be an actor, you know, at the very least, act like you care even if you really just don't, especially when it's something as beloved as Snow White. And also just make sure you're a likable person, because nobody likes an insufferable asshole. Anyways, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to get this out because holy shit, I am actually blown away by the fact that her PR manager hasn't already told her to shut the fuck up. If you liked, subscribe. If you disliked, I'll like the video, obviously. I've been the 8th dwarf, Sinozi. You've been watching A Man Loses Sanity. Avada Kedavra.